Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Florida.
A warm, warm day in St. Louis. Get your liquids, maybe some shade, and get ready for baseball. The Marlins and the Cardinals finish off what has been an entertaining three-game series. David Phelps, a St. Louis native, signing some autographs. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. A little cooler up here than down on the field. Rich Waltz along with Eduardo Perez. This has been a fun series, a wild ride in Game 1, a nostalgic ride last night with Adam Wainwright shutting out the Marlins. What has this taught us about two wild card contenders?
It's up for grabs. You look at the pitching that Wainwright showed yesterday. He's trying to lead the way, knowing that they have a lot of injuries with Matt Carpenter out, with Moss out. He feels that he has to take the team under his shoulders and lead the way. So hopefully for the Marlins, Michael Wacha does not continue to do what Adam Wainwright did yesterday. The Marlins, on the other hand, great defense, and with an off day to Marcell Ozuna, we will have to see Christian Yelich and Giancarlo Stanton take over.
That means Ichiro's in there. Let's look at Miami's lineup going in. Now, the off day for Ozuna is an all-star type off day, isn't it?
It is. It's an off day. Why? Because for him, he did not have one going and traveling all the way to San Diego, still doing workouts, autograph signings, then all the entertaining off-the-field stuff, plus the game in San Diego. So Don Mattingly wanted to give him a day off, and you look at the balance in that lineup. When you have an Ichiro coming in for you, I think the Marlins are okay.
Now, when people project the Marlins through August and September, the talk is starting pitching. Maybe they need starting pitching, or they need some of their starting pitching to step up. That didn't happen yesterday, but Adam Conley has shown that as his major league career starts, he might just be that guy.
He might just be that guy. And one thing that you have to look at today with the heat index at 100 degrees right now, Adam Conley, if he can give you 5 strong innings or 90 pitches, it would be good enough, and that would be a happy Don Mattingly to take it to the bullpen.
Well, he's adjusted his haircut for the heat, certainly. And here is Wacha. You see, in his 4th season, but his ERA this year is north of 4. How come?
Keep an eye on his changeup. His changeup is the reason why he came straight from college in Texas A&M to the big leagues. It's good control, fastball down in the zone, good movement. If he's not able to throw that changeup for a strike, it could be a short day for Michael Wacha and a great day for the Marlins.
Despite the heat index, should be a full house here and a great place for the final game of a 3-game set. They call it baseball heaven. Marlin players talk about this series in St. Louis. Game 3 moments away. Day in St. Louis. Normally we have a nice thermometer down there to show you the temperature. Well, instead we've got Jessica Blaylock, and she'll just tell us how hot it is.
Yeah, Rich, it is incredibly hot down here. It was the perfect day to wear black. I was definitely thinking when I picked out my outfit this morning. Hey, St. Louis is known as baseball heaven, and for good reason. The fans here have so much passion and respect for the game of baseball. It creates such a great atmosphere, and that is something that these Marlins players have noticed. Here are a few of the guys on what it's been like playing here at Busch Stadium.
It's been great. They're awesome. You really feel that they just appreciate the game, and obviously you want the Cardinals to win, but they just appreciate a good game and the effort on both sides.
It's always great coming to play here. It's when they sellout crowd. Anytime you play in front of a sellout crowd, it's a lot of fun. But these fans know baseball too. And it's pretty cool. They don't like the other day when Ichiro came up and he got a standing ovation. I just think that's pretty cool. The people they're very knowledgeable about the game, and it's fun to play here.
Always good coming here. Great fans, and just being around St. Louis and the baseball history they have here it's been pretty cool, and all the festivities they got the last couple of days get you really thinking about going to the postseason and trying to win a World Series.
It's been good, because St. Louis is pretty good. The city is good outside. The fans, the stadium is full every day. That's motivated to get in the playoff and watch it our ballpark full too.
It's a town that you come in and you realize that this is a stadium that is just gonna come to play baseball. You play baseball in every single stadium, but they're more into the game. I feel like everybody knows who I am and who is everybody here. So, I think that's great for the game.
You heard Martin Prado mention those Cardinal fans. They are packing in here at Busch Stadium. They love their Cardinals, they love baseball, and they are ready to see a good series finale here today. I'm going to be touring Busch Stadium today, give you an inside look at all the cool spots that make St. Louis baseball heaven. But hey, we've got a baseball game that still needs to be played here today. Adam Conley will be on the mound for the Marlins. I had a chance to catch up with him to talk about what he has taken away from how he has pitched in the first half of the season.
I think a lot, and a lot of it I think happens consciously in your head, things that you can think about, things that you memorize, and just memories you have about what you've done to hitters in the past and when you've had success and failures and all that. But I think a lot of it too is just the experience, things that you can't really put into words or you can't really remember off the top of your head, but just being around in the atmosphere, just the more time you gain up here, the more experience you have. I think there's a level of comfort of your surroundings and kind of more freedom to just go about the work that you want to do, that you believe is the best work for you to be doing. So it's just kind of that process I'm going through of constantly learning myself better, constantly learning the game of baseball better, and using all the experience I've gained to just help me be a better baseball player in general.
Where do you feel like you've made the most improvement?
I think a lot of it's consistency. But at this point, for most guys in this league, it's a lot of fine-tuning. It's not really reinventing yourself. It's not really finding a new pitch or some big drastic change. I think it's being the best version of yourself more often. So for me, that's my goal. I know I'm trying to take my throwing program and the work that I do throughout the week as seriously as I possibly can so that I'm not wasting reps or energy on anything that's not going to help me be better. It's just a lot of tweaking small little things, trying to basically, when I'm really good, recognizing what it is that made me that way and trying to get back to that place as much as I can.
I love talking to Adam Conley. He always shows a maturity beyond his years. He has been electric at times for the Marlins this season. There have been a few occasions where he has taken a no-hitter into the 5th inning or later. Be sure to keep it right here. We have baseball coming up on a hot day here in St. Louis. It is the series finale between the Marlins and the Cardinals. Series finale under the arch. Marlins hoping to get out of St. Louis with a win.
Sports Florida is brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. By your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. By Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Lexus of Pembroke Pines, price, service, selections. You're gonna love us. Busch Stadium, there it is, the arch, as the Marlins and the Cardinals get ready to go. All right, there you have it. That's 93 degrees, but on the field it feels warmer. Eduardo Perez knows. He was down on the field and did not come back a sweaty mess, but that's because he got into the AC and cooled off. And now Eduardo brings you Miami's lineup, brought to you by UHealth Sports Medicine.
Well, today, Ichiro is in the lineup leading off, playing center field. No Marcell Ozuna. He has the day off as Martin Prado hits second, playing third base. Christian Yelich, 325, average 50 hits, 11 doubles, 2 home runs with 25 RBIs in the last 39 games, followed by Giancarlo Stanton. Derek Dietrich protects Giancarlo today, hitting in the 5-hole, playing second base. Don Kelly, Jeff Mathis, Adania Echeverria, and Adam Conley on the mound, hitting ninth.
And so Ichiro in the starting lineup, and he leads it off in his charge towards 3,000. Took another step forward with a pinch hit early in this series. He is 9 shy. Michael Wacha delivers a fastball for a strike. Neither Michael Wacha nor Adam Conley has faced their opponents ever. So this is new territory for the hitters and for the pitchers. Wacha misses up. There's that changeup. That's a ball and a strike. Fastball out. Marvin Hudson calling balls and strikes. Chad Fairchild, Jim Joyce, Clint Fagan on the bases. And that's a tough place to be on a hot day in St. Louis. In that gear behind home plate, the pitch is out. It's 3-1 to Ichiro.
But under that gear, they have a cooling system that they change every 3 innings for the umpires.
Ichiro into center field. That's a base hit. He is 8 away from 3,000. A solid single to center opens the day for the Fish here in St. Louis.
There it is. Wind up your bobblehead, Ichiro's. Move it up 1, closer to 3,000. Pitch out over the plate, little run. One thing Ichiro does well, does not cut off his swing. It's a ball right up the middle, and he knows it. See how level that bat is through the zone. That's what's given him that consistency throughout his career.
So Ichiro's at first. Here's Martin Prado. You've got Yelich behind Michael Wacha. 5-7 this year. And remember, this is a guy who was an all-star last year. And he throws a strike to Prado. It's 0-1. Couple hits in the series for Prado. And an average at 322. And that's got him 4th in the National League. Daniel Murphy still leading at 348. Yelich and Real Muto also in the top 10. Good lead by Ichiro, not running. And the pitch is out. Yeah, an all-star last year, an NLCS MVP in 2013. And the numbers just don't seem to match what we've seen from Wacha in his first 3 years in the big leagues.
Well, the league catches up to you, and especially if you don't throw that changeup for a strike and you show that you cannot control it consistently, major league hitters will lay off it.
Prado sends that one into right field. Piscotty sets up under it, and he makes the catch. We've talked about St. Louis and their defensive difficulties this year. And here's their defense today. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Randall Grichuk in left. Tommy Pham gets a start in center. Stephen Piscotty in right. Matt Holliday with a sore ankle is in at first base. Jed Jerko, Aledmus Diaz up the middle, and Johnny Peralta is at third base. And no Yadier Molina either behind the plate. It's Alberto Rosario. And a throw over to keep Ichiro close. It's one thing for the Marlins, it's been a bit of a trouble spot in the 2 and the 3 spot in the order, and that is grounding into double plays. Prado has 13, Yelich has a dozen, and that ranks 3rd and 4th atop the list in the National League. Now, a lot of that you would think will be alleviated with D. Gordon in the leadoff spot.
It should be a lot more pressure with the running game.
Yelich takes a strike.
But a big key in this game, I think, is not having Yadier Molina in the lineup. Albert Rosario behind the plate. 709 career minor league games. Known for his defense, not a lot with the bat so far this season. Just 4 at-bats came in for Brian Pena, which went on to the disabled list right before the All-Star break.
Well, you saw Yelich's numbers, a .316 average, a .399 on base. And that fly ball is deep in the corner. Grichuk wandering in and makes the catch. Got towards the wall and right on the track made the catch. And so a couple of fly ball outs, and here comes Giancarlo Stanton. Auto Nation brings you the scouting report for Michael Wacha.
It was not drafted in high school, that's why it was overlooked. But then a first-round draft pick out of Texas A&M. Throws fastball in the mid-90s, throws a curveball and a changeup, tinkered with a cutter in the spring of 2016, and on a roll, 3-1 with a 3 ERA in the last 6 games. 11 walks, 35 strikeouts for Michael Wacha.
His last time out before the All-Star break, he took a line drive off his heel, that courtesy of Jonathan VR of the Milwaukee Brewers. Stanton fouls that one straight back, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Stanton in the series, a couple of hits, a double, and an RBI. He, like everybody, it seemed, wearing a Marlins uniform, struggled with Adam Wainwright yesterday. Stanton was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Wainwright was magnificent. A 3-hit shutout. One and 2. And that fastball that he just took, he took 2 of those for strike 3s. Ichiro from first. Pitches out, and it's 2 and 2.
You mentioned that earlier. It was O that had thrown him 3 fastballs in a row after falling behind 3-0, and then Wainwright did the same thing yesterday, pitching backwards to Giancarlo. Let's see how Wacha approaches Giancarlo this at-bat with 2 strikes.
2-2. Change up, and a good one there. Stanton swings over it, and the Marlins leave Ichiro anchored at first. But another hit closer. He's 8 shy, 2,992. Well, that hit up on the board belongs to Ichiro. Cardinals batting order brought to you by UHealth Sports Medicine.
Tommy Pham leading off with Aledmus Diaz playing shortstop, hitting second. Steven Piscotty, dangerous hitter in the 3 spot. Matt Holliday struggles at home all season long with Johnny Peralta right behind him playing third base. Randall Grichuk, Jed Jerko hitting behind him. Continuing with Albert Rosario and Michael Wacha in the 9th spot.
Tommy Pham, Aledmus Diaz, Steven Piscotty against Adam Conley, who works quickly, zips in a fastball that misses. That's a ball and a strike. Conley's first half, 18 starts. You see the last 2 starts, very, very nice. Beat the Reds and beat the Braves, and that Braves game, of course, was at Fort Bragg. And importantly, the Marlins have won 4 of his last 5 starts. He's 2-1 to the dangerous Tommy Pham, who's homered twice in the series. And lifts that one to right. Stanton looking up into the sun. Glasses on, makes the catch. So an out defensively. The Marlins brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Ichiro getting the start. Day off for Marcell Ozuna after the All-Star run that he had with Yelich and Stanton on the corners. Prado and Don Kelly start at first. Dietrich and Echeverria up the middle. And Jeff Mathis, the catcher. And here is Diaz, an all-star himself. He goes after the first pitch and pops it up. Prado angling himself so that he can see it, and he makes the catch.
That's a veteran move by Martin Prado right there. You see, and you said it clearly, angling himself with the sun. Watch how he turns towards the dugout to make sure the sun does not get in the way of the baseball in the line of sight. You don't see a lot of young third basemen do that, but Martin Prado, with experience, showing off his skills right there. Omar Vizquel, I thought, was one of the best at shortstop, being able to turn and get in the right angle when it comes to pop-ups.
Steven Piscotty for the Cardinals. This is a guy that I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, is going to have a big second half and a nice future with the Cardinals.
You're not wrong.
Thank you.
At all.
375 on base, 492 slug, 23 doubles, a dozen homers. And Piscotty going after a fastball, swings and misses. Adam Conley, 1-2-3, and that was quick. On to the second. In St. Louis, scoreless ball game. Michael Wacha has Derek Dietrich. He takes down low. Dietrich, Don Kelly, Jeff Mathis. Eduardo Perez told us to watch the changeup of Michael Wacha. It's been a problem for him, but so far in this ball game, he's thrown some good ones, including the pitch that he struck Stanton out on. 2-1 to Dietrich. Dietrich continues to get on base at a great clip. 387 on base, a 430 slugging percentage, and his average just under 300.
That's the key right there. 2-1, went with the changeup and was able to throw it for a strike. If he's able to do this, Michael Wacha could have a really good day.
Dietrich got that changeup. Holiday stumbles, fires, and in time to get the out. $2017 season ticket deposit. If you put it down, you're guaranteed access to the 2017 All-Star Game. And of course, that's at Marlins Park. It's your chance to secure seats for a once-in-a-generation event and all of the All-Star Week activities. Just $250. The deposits start 1-877 Marlins, or go to marlins.com.
Love this play by Matt Holliday, known not for his glove, especially at first base. Just moving there this season. Worked heavily on it at spring training, and that's a great sign for Mike Matheny and the rest of the team if he can make plays like that at first base.
Don Kelly fouls a pitch back. Justin Bour continues to try to rehab that high ankle sprain that he suffered in Atlanta. And right now it does not look like he's ready to come off the disabled list. Marlins are hopeful maybe later this upcoming week. So Kelly the start against the right-hander. And he shoots one on the ground to Peralta. A couple ground ball outs for Wacha here in the second. And make no mistake, the Marlins missed Justin Bour, especially with the right-handers they've run into here in St. Louis. The effort yesterday by Wainwright and Wacha today, and it's an all right-handed quartet that is waiting for Miami in Philly, starting with Aaron Nola tomorrow night against Jose Fernandez. Mathis, a solid hit into center field. And he's aboard with 2 outs.
I like that, just jumping all over that first pitch. Michael Wacha trying to get ahead. Jeff Mathis knows how good his changeup is. Why wait for it when you can go after the number 1, the fastball? Drilling it right back up the middle with that high leg kick of his. It's not easy. You're sitting on the bench, you play 1 time a week. Have to go get your hacks. Look at the numbers there at Busch Stadium, 357 career.
Yeah, Echeverria in this ballpark has really clicked for whatever reason. And the Marlins haven't played him in his Marlin career, haven't played an enormous amount of games. It's just, 1 visit a year. High fastball, it's no swing, and it's 2-0.
Run around first, 2-0 count. Michael Wacha. Talk about the changeup. Put the pitcher on deck. Don't be surprised if he goes to it right here. Does not give in on Etchy. Boy, threw a really good fastball outside corner. Etchy looking more on the inside part of the plate. Good take.
Etch into right field, and it's foul. Scotty was in that corner quickly. Outfields play Echeverria towards right center. And you'll see right fielders, and there's a look at Piscotty, hug that line because they've got help in the gap. Tommy Pham is about 15-20 feet into the right center gap and center. See if he breaks out the changeup here at 2-2.
Went with a fastball up.
So Mathis will run. Conley is on deck. Echeverria, a bouncer to third. Peralta On to first in time. Miami leaves another. Still scoreless. Let's do this. Let's travel around baseball with Eduardo Perez. Hamels is back at the scene of the crime when he threw a no-hitter. Brandon Drury finally in there. And the Diamondbacks on a walk-off balk the other night. Or excuse me, that was the Padres win. Bases loaded single beat the Dodgers. And Aroldis Vizcaíno on the DL. All right, what you got with Hamels in the leadoff spot there?
Well, Hamels already today struck out the side on 12 pitches in the first inning at Wrigley. So you also have to keep an eye on that bad boy.
That walk-off balk was in San Diego. It was the Giants and the Padres. Did you see the end of that one?
I did not. I was getting my rest, getting ready for today. Stay hot.
That's right. Your spot treatments, those are always important in maintaining a good broadcast. Matt Holliday, first pitch swinging. Is it just me, or are the Cardinals going after a lot of Conley's first pitches here?
They are. They are going after a lot of his first pitches. And keep an eye on Matt Holliday also. The other day, again, 2 days ago, fly balls, 3 of them, all to the opposite side.
John Mabry, hitting coach for the Cardinals. Conley whistles one in. Throughout the first half, whenever Adam Conley starts, we had talked about his splits and how he's kind of a reverse splits guy. Higher batting average by lefties rather than righties, and that's starting to narrow a bit. Righties hitting at 223, lefties hitting at 289.
With that being said, Mike Matheny has 3 lefties on the bench with Colton Wong, Adams, and Greg Garcia.
At what point does a manager say, okay, that's not an anomaly, let's get the lefties in there?
I would have done it today off him.
To right, that's well hit. Stanton back, and that one is leaving. Matt Holliday, his 16th.
Talk about a man that's been struggling at home. Matt Holliday, big time, hitting under 200 at home. This is a good sign for the Cardinals. Pitch misses location. Adam knew it as soon as he threw it. Watch where Jeff is set, way inside. Pitch goes outer half. When that man gets his hands extended, it's game on for Matt Holliday.
Johnny Peralta, who homered yesterday. My goodness, the Cardinals, in terms of solo homers, are having quite a series. Peralta popped one yesterday. They had 3 the day before, so 5 solos, 6 total homers.
See that swing from Johnny, and again, Jeff set up way inside, pitch outer half, trying to throw that strike. You have to be very careful with both Holiday and Peralta. Their power is good once they get those hands extended.
You know, the rest is great for starting pitchers, certainly with the All-Star break, but trying to keep everybody sharp is not easy to do. You're out of your routine. Yeah, pitchers do throw, but that's not the same as making a start. And so sometimes that first series after the All-Star break, you always keep an eye on starting pitchers and bullpen arms.
One thing interesting you see with a lot of pitchers during the All-Star break, they go home but they take their gloves with them. Take a couple baseballs.
That's a strikeout. Peralta's down, doesn't like it. He and Marvin Hudson with a brief discussion.
Well, you never like it as a hitter when the home plate umpire makes that call, but you always want some help from the first base umpire, but that was an easy call for Marvin Hudson to make.
Here's Grichuk now. Randall Grichuk. He's also homered in the series.
It's interesting how Mike Matheny has played this. Grichuk, first day was leading off. Yesterday hit in the cleanup spot. Today moves down 2 notches to the 6th spot. And also Grichuk played center field while Pham played left. Today it's vice versa. Grichuk's in left, Pham is in center.
And Grichuk right now is experiencing some discomfort. The home plate umpire Marvin Hudson signaled to the dugout. Cardinal trainer and Mike Matheny arrive.
The way Hudson held him, it seemed like was he getting dizzy?
Here's a look at the swing and the aftermath. Swing looks okay.
Seemed like he got a little lightheaded there.
Well, this is a long discussion right now.
Well, again, we showed the heat index. It's at 103 when the game started. It will get warmer also.
And neither team hit. Neither team took batting practice. Both teams have been pretty careful about staying out of the heat for BP and all of that. And this discussion continues. Matheny simply listening. Now, Matheny, of course, was a guy whose career was cut short by concussions. In fact, the last game of his career was against the Marlins. He got hit in the mask, and it exacerbated the condition that he had, multiple concussions, and he's on his way back to the dugout. So Matheny certainly knows the importance of a player having all his faculties and making sure that everything is sharp. Grichuk back in the box, 1-1 pitch. And that misses in. It's 2-1. Look at where that pitch ends up on Fox Tracks. Pitch 3.
Surprised it was even on the screen.
Mathis held it, but Marvin Hudson said it was in. And so the count's 3-1. That hit the knob of the bat. It's 3-2. Got him. Looks like a little bit of a slider that dived below the bat. And so Grichuk strikes out, and I would expect that the Cardinals again are going to talk to him and just double check him to find out if he's okay. He is headed into the clubhouse.
That's definitely an area of concern right there for Mike Matheny as he's talking with David Bell.
Jed Jerko to center. Ichiro after it is there and makes the catch. A solo homer by Matt Holliday opens the scoring in St. Louis.
Trinket City. Marty Hennon was a baseball executive and a marketing director for the Cardinals. He began his career with the Redbirds in 1973. Take a look at his office. He collected every single piece of memorabilia possible. Look at all the baseballs, the bobblehead giveaways. Now, when Marty passed away, the Cardinals decided to store some of his memorabilia here inside Busch Stadium. The other part of his collection is on display at the University of Missouri right here in St. Louis.
Huh, that's interesting stuff. Now, you were a Cardinal, Eduardo. Did you ever hang out in his little trinket room?
I was not able to, no. I wish I would have, but that right there is fantastic. I love all the things that the Cardinals do here, and they just cherish their history and all the people. You know what's interesting is I played here, my last year was 2003, and there's still a lot of attendants that work the old stadium that are still here at this stadium, and they welcome you with open arms. It's a wonderful atmosphere, a knowledgeable crowd. You wake up, you know there's a Cardinal game. They're all wearing red.
You're right. Adam Conley strikes out. Michael Walker, first time through, has given up a couple of singles, including one to Ichiro, who pulls in now. Ichiro singled into center field back in the first. He is 8 shy of 3,000. Such a vast improvement from last year. His first year with the Marlins, he hit just .229 and was on base at a .282 clip. And with his base hit, Ichiro now at .341 on the season, and is on base well over 400. And a chopper first base side, and it lands foul. The count's 1-2. So whether it was getting used to the National League, getting used to being a reserve, whatever it was last year, he has made the adjustments this year because he's thrived coming off the bench. He's thrived as a pinch hitter.
It's a routine also. Going from being an everyday player to all of a sudden just getting at-bats sparingly, pinch hitting, it's a different animal. And he has adjusted and adjusted well. There was one day in Atlanta the other day, I walked in to the stadium late, the first game of the series, and he was actually walking out to the batting cage around the third inning. It's just a part of routine that you have to have in the National League that you do not do as an everyday player or even a part-time player in the American League.
Count 1-2. This city to him is a special place. This is the hometown of George Sisler. And of course, Ichiro broke that record in 2004 for most hits in a season with 262. Sisler's family was on hand in Seattle that night that he broke that record. And when the All-Star game was here, I believe it was 09, Ichiro made a point to go visit Sisler's grave, also go visit the family again. Changeup, and it's pulled foul, and right now Waka has thrown just about everything he has at Ichiro in a deep count at 3-2.
Pitchers that have good changeups, once the hitter fouls one off on 3-2 count, they're more susceptible now to go fastball up in the zone. You've already proven that you can still put that ball or foul that ball off. Let's see what Waka does here.
Little tapper towards short. Diaz has it on the run. Safe. Ichiro safe at first. Certainly will be looked at and reviewed. If it holds, he is 8 shy. And Mike Matheny is going to review it. It was bang bang. We haven't looked at it yet, but we'll give you a look.
Well, what he has going for him is that he was called safe, not out. Watch here. It's 2 bang bang. I don't know. One thing that Matt Holliday did do is try to catch this ball with 2 hands. You have to go one hand, make it easier on the umpire. From that angle, it looks like he's out. We'll have to see everyone back at home. Keep your bobblehead on your hand until this bad boy is either called safe or reversed.
You know, this brings to mind, and let's hope that his 3,000th hit isn't like this, isn't a 2.5-minute review where some umpire emerges from the headsets and says safe, and it's Ichiro's got 3,000.
This was a quick one.
He's out. So Ichiro is out. He doesn't know it yet. He's still looking at the scoreboard.
Oh, there he goes.
And he's on his way back to the dugout.
I feel for Chad Fairchild. He wants him to get those hits too. Tom Mattingly knows it.
And so Ichiro out. And here is Prado. He's still 9 shy. How much can Michael Waka take away from the start last night of Adam Wainwright in terms of attacking Miami's hitters?
He knows that yesterday the Marlins had trouble adjusting on that pitch right there, sliders away. So Waka's strength is a changeup. He needs to be able to use that well in order to be effective. Has to throw pitches in the zone and out with that pitch.
It's interesting listening to the post-game interview of Adam Wainwright on Marlins Live last night, talking about the fact that that 2006 team was in the house, that he definitely wanted to finish and show them something.
Well, he did. And the thing was, it wasn't even max effort. First pitch of the game was 85 miles per hour. He topped out at 92, but he did not have to go to his A stuff consistently throughout the game. Adding and subtracting.
Yeah, 1-2. Prado takes it out. Walker really burst into the Cardinal rotation back in 13. Had a great postseason. Beat the Dodgers twice in the NLCS and was named MVP of the NLCS. Cardinals would go on to lose to the Red Sox in the World Series. Prado just fighting off fastballs right now.
Look at the pitch count right now for Michael Walker, 53. With the at-bat from Ichiro and now Martin fouling a couple balls off with this heat, plus for the Marlins.
There's the scissor kick you like so much.
I love that. Greg Walker, hitting coach for the Chicago White Sox a few years back, made it a must for a few of his hitters to have that scissor cut so they will not cut their swing off.
Ichiro's at bat was 9 pitches. This is the 9th to Prado.
Two veteran guys. So far 19 pitches between both of them in this inning.
So fastball's low. Prado has seen everything that Walker has. It's a scatter shot. Fox tracks.
Add another. It's 21 pitches, right, between both Ichiro and Martin. And that's great news also for Adam Conley, which started the inning off with a strikeout, giving him some time to rest on the bench.
Prado puts it in play. A big hop for Peralta. And Michael Walker is sharp. Cardinals have a holiday homer and a 1-0 lead.
I'm surrounded by statues of former Cardinals players who helped shape the franchise here in St. Louis. These 10 statues were actually located at Old Busch Memorial Stadium, where the Cardinals used to play, and then when Busch Stadium opened, the statues were moved here to the corner of Clark and 8th. Here's Bob Gibson right here. One of the coolest things about these statues are the plaques on the side that tell you when it was unveiled and then give you some very fun information about the former players.
Thank you, Jessica. It all adds to the Cardinal way, the Cardinal allure. Rosario leads it off with Waka, Tommy Pham to follow. I would think from the modern day Cardinals, if you're looking for the next statue, it's probably Yadier Molina.
I would say so. And don't be surprised if even Albert Pujols, which went to the Angels, he really left a mark here in St. Louis. But Yadier Molina, from beginning to end, with all the championships and the leadership, he would be a guy.
Who gets the statue first? Is it Molina or Pujols?
I would say Pujols. I think Molina will still be around, and I think he will be playing a little bit longer.
2-2. What about a Marlin statue? If in 20 years you were to build a statue outside of Marlins Park, Giancarlo Stanton, if he has
20 years?
In 20 years, if he has the type of career everybody hopes he has?
If he does, he would definitely break some massive records. He would be one.
Of course, the Cardinals have had a little bit of a head start on the Marlins in terms of history. I mean, this is a charter member of the American Association. 1881 is when they started playing baseball here. They were, for the first couple of years, called the Browns and the Perfectos. And that went into the seats. They became the Cardinals in 1900. I think if you wanted to capture moments in Marlins history, you could capture both the final outs of the World Championship with Beckett.
With Beckett, how about Ivan Rodriguez holding that ball up at home plate after the great throw from Jeff in left field?
Counsell scoring in the walk-off win over the Indians. Conley gets it out, and Chavarria makes the play. And this legal reminder for everybody: this copyright telecast presented by the authority of the Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. And that goes for you, pal.
No periscoping?
No Periscope. And
no
Facebook? If you want a live Facebook video of our air conditioner,
it is awesome.
It is awesome. And I think that's okay because it's not game action.
Had over 1,400 views since yesterday. Share the moment, folks. Share the moment.
Yeah, if only Kodak was still around. That fastball is lined foul.
No, another one would be Jose Fernandez 20 years from now. He continues to do it, stays healthy, and is a Marlin. I think he would have a lot of special numbers and moments in Marlin history.
Pitches in. It's 2-2. There are a few clouds above, sun darting in and around that, but man, it's hot. I was talking to Don Mattingly about the heat. He did not, as a player, play in the heat in St. Louis, but he grew up near here. And in the American League, Kansas City, obviously, the equivalent in terms of heat, and playing on the AstroTurf. And he had an interesting observation. He said it was just miserable. But he said the guy that had the coolest spot was the catcher. Because he said he was on the dirt and everybody else was on that turf, which was 135, 140 degrees in the heat.
Well, I played in Cincinnati, and also when it was turf in Riverfront Stadium before it turned into Synergy Field and then so forth. I can tell you right now it was hot everywhere. Joe Oliver, which was the catcher at the time, would have IVs put in them after the game because of the heat. Again, they would have a cooler with cabbage, so you can put it under your hat, under your cap, put it in, go out there, try to stay and keep your head cool. A lot of ammonia water going on today and then back then.
0-2 to Tommy Pham. Adam Conley, first time through the order. The only hit, a Matt Holliday homer. 0-2 is in the dirt. As we're accustomed to seeing, Conley doesn't mess around. Doesn't leave the pitching rubber. Gets it, sets, and throws it. Struck him out inside corner. Down goes Tommy Pham. 3 in the books. 1-0 St. Louis. That's an angry looking bird up there. Bring your group to Marlins Park. Take advantage of the all-inclusive options and save money while you do. Group seating, group pricing. You got the burger and beer package, Beer Fest, all you can eat seats, kids eat free Wednesdays, all of that. And it's a great time to bring your group to the ballpark. 1-877 Marlins. Here is Yelich. And Yelich takes a strike. It's 0-1. Christian is 0 for 1. He's flied out. Yelich, a line drive, and it's right to Holliday, who squeezes it. And there's an out here in the fourth. Giancarlo Stanton and Derek Dietrich will follow against Michael Wacha. Marlins didn't have much luck against last night's right-hander. Adam Wainwright shut him out with just 3 hits allowed. The Fish knocked Jaime Garcia around pretty well, and the bullpen of the Cardinals in a 7-6 win in game 1. Stanton's got his face mask on. And he fouls that back. And as we told you, Stanton and his face mask, he originally tried the Jason Hayward mask, or the type that Yadier Molina wears. But he liked the football style face mask. He was a terrific high school football player. And having the bars and a chance to kind of see through it, he was much more comfortable with that. Goes after a high pitch and fouls it back. And it's 2-2. Stanton hits a bullet, an absolute rope, off the wall already. He ventures around first and cruises into second with a vapor trail of a double.
I'll admit to you, I did not see that one off the bat. And watch where Rosario wants it down, and this has been Walker's issue. That changeup up. It was a strike, but stayed way too up, especially with 2 strikes. You cannot afford to make a mistake like that to G. Just absolutely crushes it. 2 bouncer off the wall, runner in scoring position. Right man up right now, Derek Dietrich.
So a chance here to draw even with Stanton in scoring position. Dietrich bounced out in the second, hit a sharp ground ball. Matt Holliday a sprawling stop. And then you got Don Kelly. What's the return on the vapor trail?
116 miles per hour. Johnny Peralta had no chance if that ball would have been hit directly at him. Fortunately for him, over his head. Watch this look and watch Peralta. He had no chance. Fortunately for him, again, over his head, but you're at third base. There's a reason they call it the hot corner for all the cliches it can be, but coming from shortstop now at third base, that's not one you want hit to you.
Oof, it's close. Dietrich hit a changeup his first time up, and that one you can see just outside of the box.
Sooner or later, Walker has to be able to throw one inside to make that changeup of his work. If he does, Derek Dietrich could lean into it.
Nice block by Rosario.
I like the life he possesses back there, just moving around a lot, known for his defense. That's what you want off a backup catcher. Reminds me a lot of Alberto Castillo back in the day. See how he blocks, keeps it in front of him.
Let's see what Dietrich gets here. 2-2. Stanton at second. Pulls an off-speed pitch. And it's 2-2.
Cardinals, one of the few teams that have not shifted the infield completely with Derek. Aledmus Diaz, you see him a couple steps towards shortstop behind second base, in between Stanton and the bag. Outfield straight away.
One of the injuries we haven't talked about is to backup catcher Brian Pena. He's on the disabled list. It's a reason you've got Rosario back there on this Sunday, giving Molina the day off. Stanton still at second. Dietrich won't go away. It's one of the things that Don Mattingly likes about Dietrich. He'll get deep into counts as well. National League leader in getting hit by pitch and an on-base percentage in the upper 300s. 387 starting play today. That was pitch number 7.
For a team that has not scored a run yet, the Marlins threw 4 1/3 innings, 72 pitches for Michael Wacha. They've been battling and fouling pitches off. Ichiro had a 9-pitch at bat. Prado 12-pitch at bat. Now Dietrich with 7.
It's up. You know, the other thing that's odd here, yeah, they don't have a run. They have just 3 hits, and those are the only 3 base runners.
Just a lot of foul balls. And you look at the pitch counts via the innings, 26 in that 3rd inning. That was a high-stress inning, even though there were no runners in scoring position for Michael Wacha.
Dietrich off of Wacha. It bounces towards third. And it's going to be a base hit. Now remember, Walker got hit in the heel and had to come out of the game in his last start against Milwaukee.
Well, he gets hit because look where he ends after he throws the baseball. Not in a fielding position. You go back to the days of every Gold Glover, if it's Greg Maddux or if it's Mark Burley or any Gold Glover that's on the mound, Dallas Keuchel, they end up in a fielding position ready to make that play.
It was the right heel against Milwaukee, and whether the ball striking him is the issue here. Maybe he turned something as he scrambled off the mound. He's going to get up and throw some pitches. The Marlins now at the corners with Don Kelly coming up.
Good time for a squeeze play and get him moving a little bit, right?
That's, believe me, I just had that thought in your mind. Kelly, the hitter, that's Mathis who's on deck. And so here is Kelly. The one thing you obviously want to avoid is a double play. If you can set the bunt down and force Walker to move. Peralta very deep at third. Holiday is not a first baseman, and he's holding the runner at first. So you don't have speed on the corners defensively. And even that safety first and third bunt that Joe Madden has made popular can work.
And if you see where Peralta is, he's playing even with the bag. The Cardinals are thinking the same thing. Middle's a double play depth. Grichuk a little bit more towards second base, trying to cover that big hole that Matt Holliday has opened up by holding the runner on at first.
Kelly takes in, and it's a ball and a strike.
This is the count where Michael Wacha, with runners in scoring position, goes to the changeup. Scouting reports have it. Let's see if he deviates from that or he goes back to his bread and butter. Going fastball in. Not changeup. 89.
And it's in and it's down, and the count is 2-1.
Good opportunity right here for Don to get a pitch up in the zone and just drive it into the gap.
Under his hands on a changeup, and it's 3-1. As you look at that pitch, that's a pitch that could have gone either way. Right at the letters and right on the edge of the plate. Now the 3-1. Check swing, and he got a piece of it. Now 3-2, 1 out. You would expect Dietrich to be on the move.
You would. Don Kelly, you have to count on him to put the ball in play with Mathis on deck, a right-handed hitter, not an everyday player. You get Dietrich going, it'll keep you away from that double play, hoping he does not hit a line drive at someone.
Let's see if he runs. No, he's not running. Check swing. He went. Clint Fagan, the third base umpire, said swing. And Kelly strikes out. And so here comes Mathis. And right now, Fagan and Lenny Harris in discussion.
It's borderline right there. Could have gone either way. You're a Cardinal fan. You say, absolutely, he does. You're a Marlin fan. You're like, no way.
So it's up to Mathis now to get something out of this inning. Wacha misses outside. Mathis, a solid single up the middle back in the second.
Peralta still playing in, respecting the bunting ability of Jeff Mathis. You've got Echeverria on deck. Now he moves back 2-0.
Mathis jumped on a fastball his first at bat. Does he get one 2-0?
I say yes. With Etche on deck.
Nope, 84 miles an hour.
Got to change up. You have to be looking fastball, though. That's your count. If Walker can throw that change up right there, then hats off to him. But it tells you the confidence that Walker has on the changeup.
Mathis bunts, and it's a gorgeous one. Stanton will score. How about that?
Well, we said it earlier on. Peralta was in 0-0 and 1-0 with a 2-0 count. Goes back, hitters count. Mathis gets that changeup. This time, not respecting the ability. Look how deep he is. Does not have to be perfect. Just bunt it towards the third baseman, making sure Walker does not get it. And let's not forget, you see how Walker falls off towards the first base side? A lot of room for error for Jeff Mathis. Beautifully played. Tie game. That's knowing your role. 2 for 2 with an RBI so far on the day for Jeff.
Now Echeverria, you've got Conley on deck, so there is a base open. But Walker's so deep in this inning now, 84 pitches. With 2 outs in the 4th. Ball in the dirt.
Great block. Great block by Rosario right there. That ball gets by him. You end up walking Etche to face Conley with the bases loaded. Instead, runners first and second still. Needs to be able to calm Walker down. You said it, 85 pitches through 3 2/3 innings. Yesterday, let's put it in perspective. You had Tom Kohler threw 93 pitches through 5. So Walker definitely working a lot harder in a warmer day.
If they would walk Echeverria, if runners were at second and third, why won't they walk him now with runners first and second and third base open?
A lot of room for error, and the numbers tell you not to do so. You see a lot of managers do that. Joe Maddon's one in Chicago that will. He'll throw the book away on that. Just go with a higher percentage. But you really want Conley to start off an inning. You don't want to get the leadoff hitter in Ichiro to start off a clean inning in the 5th inning. If this is the 8th inning, absolutely walk him. Then you'll get a pinch hitter for Conley if it's the 8th inning.
Ball and a strike. In the dirt, and it scoots away, and now you've got the runners moving up.
Now you walk him. This is a no-brainer for Mike Matheny. If he decides to pitch to Etche right here, this would be a big mistake. Rosario did not get down in front of that baseball. Walker spiked it. Really surprised Derek Lilquist, the pitching coach, is yet to come out to talk to Walker to give him a breather.
And this is going to be a intentional walk. So here's another question for you.
Shit.
If Major League Baseball does eliminate the intentional walk, what happens in the middle of a count? Do you just say, hey, we're done with this, move on?
I don't like it. I don't even know why Major League Baseball would even be thinking that. You know, it's absurd to think, okay, to speed up the game. That's ridiculous to me. That's a few seconds out of the game. You've seen a lot of games being lost because the inability of a pitcher to throw those 4 pitches out for a catcher. So as far as I'm concerned, it's just part of the game, and let's just continue at least some kind of tradition in this beautiful game.
So, well said. Echeverria is now at first, and here's Conley. Now we've seen Walker with some wildness, but certainly a different pitch situation when you're pitching to Adam Conley, and he almost sends that one to the screen.
Did you see that step? Right after the pitch, he hobbled a little bit. It looks like that back foot's bothering him again. After he made that pitch right there, he just steps really quick. gingerly off that right foot.
That was the foot that was hit against the Brewers. He came out, and it looked like it was the foot that was hit on the Dietrich ball.
There's the Princeton grad right there, Mr. Bowman, getting loose.
Conley takes a rip. He's got 2 hits this year. The count now 1-2. "34 pitches here in the 4th.
This has to be his last inning.
Bases filled with Marlins. Conley looking for contact. And he swings and misses. And a foul tip. He strikes out. Marlins get a run and tie this game. Waka not happy. It's 1-1. Towels, cabbage if you haven't, as Eduardo pointed out. And we go back. Let's go back to 2012. You were the hitting coach for the Marlins when they played the hottest game in their history. Crazy hot. And it was July 7th. It was the hottest July 7th in St. Louis history.
This was ridiculously hot. I remember we spent July 4th in Milwaukee. You see Dunner right there just trying to cool off. We did not even hit on the field those 3 days. That's how hot it was in the cages. I told Ozzie, I said, Ozzie, we're not going to hit out. He goes, of course we're not going to hit out. Of course we're not going to hit out. I was like, perfect.
The Marlins had just come from Milwaukee, and they had 2 of the hottest dates in Milwaukee history when the Fish were in Milwaukee before they got to St. Louis. Now, Adam Conley, after that long inning by Waka. Conley on the mound, ready to go. Aledmus Diaz takes a strike. Stephen Piscotty, Matt Holliday. This is 2, 3, 4 in the Cardinals order. Both these teams jockeying for postseason position. The Marlins right now still tied with the Mets for that last wild card spot. And the Cardinals just a game behind the Marlins and the Mets. So everybody focuses on winning in the division, but when you play games against the Pirates or the Cardinals, you can see the Mets have a 3-0 lead in the top of the 8th. That's a Jacob deGrom start.
1 hit so far.
The Dodgers are coming to town. They're certainly a wild card and a postseason suitor. Right now they have that number 1 spot in the wild card. That one runs in, way in. And Diaz walks inside. The Marlins Road to the Show debuts after our telecast, after Marlins Live our post-game offering here on Fox Sports Florida. Jessica Blaylock tracks the process of scouting, evaluating, and picking players leading up to the 2016 draft. It debuts right after this ball game. Piscotty now, he struck out. And he fouls it back and out of play.
If you're the Marlins, you want to be able to get out of this inning in a hurry to put Michael Wacha back on that mound. No activity whatsoever in the Cardinals bullpen.
Ball and a strike. Piscotty has homered in this series. Had a big 2-run double yesterday, so he's driven in 4. High pop-up. Kelly. And we apologize for the great audio that we have here in St. Louis. We get to hear back crack. We get to hear umpires. And sometimes a frustrated player will
snap.
Let go a little bit. So we do apologize for that. Here's Holiday. Eduardo, you in the Holiday at bat made a pointed comment about fly balls in Holiday's first game of the series. And he promptly popped one out to right. This one he pops up behind Kelly. It's Dietrich. And Conley gets 2 pop-ups from right-handed bats. What does that tell you as a hitting instructor when 2 right-handed power bats pop it up to almost the same spot?
One of the good stuff that Adam Conley has on the mound, a lot of life, but most importantly, also a little bit of collapse from the right-handed hitters, a tendency to do so against left-handed pitchers. It's one of the things that I made a living off left-handed pitching. You have to try to stay tall throughout your at-bat against left-handed flamethrowers. And Adam Conley is in that discussion because of the herky-jerkiness and long moving parts that he has as he delivers the pitch.
Maybe that's why I was never drafted.
Stand tall?
I had a tough time staying tall.
Well, it's not about the height. It's just about more the fundamental part, just in case all you at home think that, wait a second, because Jose Altuve stands tall throughout his at-bats and his swings. And you have height on Altuve. You do, right?
Well, I don't tower over him, but yeah.
Come on, who doesn't?
Diaz the runner at first. Conley in the dirt. Delayed steal. Throw down, and it's waiting on him. The ball kicks out of Dietrich's glove. Now, whether it was a delayed steal or he ran with the ball in the dirt, we'll have to look at the video. But Diaz moving. Here's a look.
Looks like he saw the ball on the ground, but you see how Diaz comes up with his foot.
Well, that's
his leg right there.
That slide, if we could see it again. I mean, Dietrich lost the ball, but look at the elevation of that lead spike, which is dangerous.
This should be a foul ball back. So we can see it. No, swing and miss. Watch his right foot come up. Derek just never really had the baseball clean in his glove right there. Hits off the back of his leg, and you ask him, he'll tell you he should have made that play. Should have held on to the baseball if you ask him.
Ball and a strike. Johnny Peralta. And pitch just missing in. It's 2-1. Peralta struck out back in the second. Solo homer yesterday. He fouls that one off of Mathis. His homer yesterday, 438 feet. And for Peralta, it was his 199th career homer. God, it's had a really nice career offensively. Diaz at second. Mathis is really having to wrestle with Conley right now to keep the ball in front of him.
You asked me a couple innings ago who the next statue would be, if it was going to be Albert Pujols or Yadier Molina. How about Tony La Russa for what he did and brought the championships here?
That certainly is
contending team all the time.
That certainly is a possibility as well. 3-2. Conley gets him. Sharp breaking ball. Leaves Diaz in scoring position. 4 in the books in St. Louis. It's 1-1.
Putting a wrap on this 3-game series. I have made my way over to Ballpark Village. This area comprises about 7 blocks of downtown. It has restaurants, it has retail shops, it even has the Cardinals Hall of Fame Museum. It was designed to look like Wrigleyville in Chicago. It was meant to be an extension of Busch Stadium. And guys, one of the best parts about this area, take a look at the view that you get from up here.
There it is. What a great look, Jessica. Now, Jess, you mentioned Wrigleyville. I'm going to get back to you after this Ichiro at bat as Jess is out there. Look at out there, way out there. Ichiro takes in.
Where is she?
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Ichiro takes down low. Jess, what do you like better, Ballpark Village or the Wrigley rooftops?
You know what? I think I like Ballpark Village a little bit better as far as the view of the game. I think you get a little bit better view of the game from up here. But Wrigleyville is really special. I think when you're walking around Wrigley, actually on the ground in Wrigleyville versus being up on the rooftops, you get a really cool feel of just being in Chicago and Cubs baseball. But I'm going to have to go with the view from up here in Ballpark Village as my favorite so far.
Ichiro takes in and he walks. Now, Jess, you've also got, like, down below is that Fox Midwest Live, which is like the biggest restaurant ever. Have you been in there and seen the giant screen and all that?
I have not gone in there yet, but I think once I make my way down to the bottom floor, I'm going to take a look over there. Also, I mentioned the Cardinals Hall of Fame Museum is over here. So there's a lot of spots that I still need to check out in this location over here before I make my way back into the baseball game.
Jess, it was awesome. I went there last night. They have everything from Howl at the Moon to you're looking at country bars, the whole thing all in one place. It's a one-stop shop, even with food, kiosks. It's great.
Isn't there a rodeo bar in there where you can ride the bull?
Yes, I hope so. I hope so, because obviously I would have to make that happen if that is available.
It is available.
I don't know if I want to get that necessarily on camera.
Oh.
I'm just saying that I'll try and make that happen.
Oh, that would be terrific.
All right, let's talk Michael Wacha in control right now. We saw him labor through the fourth. He's walked Ichiro on 4 pitches, and he almost hit Martin Prado on that last one.
He shouldn't be out there right now. After the way he struggled in the 4th inning, and I even said it, I do not expect him to come back, but then again, the bullpen was sitting down in the bottom half of the 4th inning.
Prado drives this one to center field, hits it well. Pham going after it, and he won't get it. And it hops up over the fence and out of play. Ichiro would have scored had it stayed in, so he ends up at third base, and Prado muscles up for his 21st double of the season.
Yeah, and you think of Mike Matheny and what he did the other day with Jaime Garcia, leaving him in to face an extra inning, and that extra inning cost the Cardinals big time as Rosenthal came in and walked the world and gave up a few base hits. Here, you want a reliever to start cleanly. You see Ichiro right there taking a read. He would have scored easily on the ball off the wall.
Now it's Yelich, second and third, and nobody out. A great chance for the Fish. And Yelich takes a fastball for a strike.
See every pitch up in the zone right now, even that one up and away in the strike zone.
Matt Bowman in the bullpen is ready. Yelich, a bouncer up the middle, into center field, base hit. Ichiro scores, Prado scores, and Yelich drives home 2. Miami has a 3-1 lead by the diving Diaz.
Well, the Marlins capitalizing on Wacha, and this is what you call just wearing a pitcher out. The 4th inning, the 3rd inning, the 4th inning, making him throw a lot of pitches has created this right now for the Marlins, and it's forcing Mike Matheny to make a double switch. But you see exactly where Diaz is positioned, and that's where he's been positioned the entire time during the series against Christian Yelich. A lot different than a lot of other teams in the league, playing him a little bit more the other way. Yet the angle that Diaz took to the baseball, not the one you want to take with runners in scoring position.
Yelich knocks home 2 and knocks out Wacha. A Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. Good job. Sports Florida is brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. By Coral Springs Auto Mall across from the Coral Square Mall. We make it easy. And by Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Price, service, selection, You're gonna love us. Greg Garcia comes in a double switch. He's at third, and Matt Bowman fires in a fastball to Giancarlo Stanton. Bowman, a Rule 5 draft pick. You see his numbers, 29th appearance and a nice ERA. Played 3 years at Princeton. Stanton breaks his bat and it flies almost directly behind home plate. Wow. Counts 0-2.
I haven't seen a bat broken like that in a long time. Yahtzee on that one. It broke in 4 pieces. The barrel just going back.
Count 0-2. Yelich, good speed at first. You got Dietrich and Kelly to follow here in the 5th. 2 runs across, a 3-1 lead for Miami, and that fastball buzzes Stanton. Bowman was originally a Mets draft pick back in 2012, 13th round. And the Cardinals saw something in him and took him in the Rule 5 draft.
Look at his delivery. It reminds you a little bit of Tim Lincecum. As soon as he starts his leg kick. This is a kid, a very good athlete, played shortstop at Princeton also.
6 feet tall, 177 pounds, so he's built like Lincecum.
Watch when he gets the hand out of the glove right here.
That's strike 3, and Stanton knew it. So a couple strikeouts and a double for Stanton today.
Missing location right down the middle. Again, Giancarlo upset at that. Strikes out looking again on a fastball. See that reaction? He knew it.
And the way this game works, until he hits a few of those fastballs out of the ballpark, he's going to continue to get those pitches late in breaking ball counts.
He is. And what the Cardinals' strategy so far has been is pitching backwards. In situations where he's used to seeing those sliders, those breaking pitches, they're going and attacking him right down the middle with the fastball. He's upsetting himself.
This is not a bad time for Yelich to run. Dietrich lines at left field. Grichuk is there and he makes the catch. So 2 outs. And Geico brings us. Drum roll, please. Thank you. Our Major League moment, 1987. Don Mattingly sets the American League record with a home run in his 7th consecutive game. He would hit 8 in a row, tied with Ken Griffey Jr. Dale Long, I believe, is also on that list. Cardinals thinking that Yelich might be moving, chase him back. Kelly's 0 for 2. He's bounced out, struck out. A walk to Ichiro, a double by Prado, a 2-run single by Yelich, and a 3-1 lead in the heat in St. Louis. Bowman in the minors always was a great ground ball pitcher. And maybe that's what the Cardinals saw last year, because last year he was 7-16 with a 5.53 ERA. But his home ballpark was Las Vegas, and that is a great hitter's environment. Don Kelly, right field, Piscotty back, and he makes the catch. Miami gets 2. Yelich drives them both in, and it's 3-1. the presenting sponsor of Miami Marlins baseball. Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge over the Mississippi. And Miami is on top in the heat. Christian Yelich banging in a couple. Randall Grichuk, Jed Jerko, Alberto Rosario, and Adam Conley getting set to go for Miami. That one popped out of play. Well, the Cardinals certainly were watching Michael Wacha closely, and you would expect the Marlins the same with Adam Conley. It's hot. Conley, though, has not labored as much as Wacha. Good changeup. That's 0-2.
Talk about Wacha's changeup. How about this one by Adam Conley? Great pitch. Has the hitter thinking in, goes away, and then up and away right there for strike 3. Buenos días, buenas tardes, y buenas noches.
Senor Grichuk. Coors Light. Cold hard fact. Marlin Cardinal National League ranks. Now, and John Mattingly has addressed this numerous times. You look at the runs, batting average first, runs 10th, Cardinals runs 3rd, and a lot of that has to do with long balls. Cardinals have hit a lot of home runs this year, 122 of them.
I'll still take the Marlins position. When you have a high average, high on base percentage, you're getting opportunities, and sooner or later that'll crack and it'll end up getting a lot of runs. Have to get on base, and that man right there, Barry Bonds, knows that. Oh, just a bit outside. I'll take over.
All right, let me see Fox Tracks, see if that showed up on the Fox Tracks radar. No. No.
It's by Conley's, it's by Adams' hat.
You could draw that, I think, on the telestrator.
Love the reaction by the man.
1-2. He misses down low. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, home runs and speed. Yeah, the Marlins are going to get some speed with D. Gordon in a little over a week. Conley strikes out Jed Jerko, and he's really rolling. He's punched out 3 in a row, and there's 2 down. Sweep packs, and you go 3 or 6 game sweep pack plans at Marlins Park. If you go a 6-game plan and you also go with a renewal, you get guaranteed tickets to the 2017 All-Star Game. 1-877-MARLINS, or go to marlins.com. Alberto Rosario for the Cardinals. 8 strikeouts for Conley on the day. He's walked 1. And he's given up 1 hit, and that was Matt Holliday's solo homer. And he misses in.
Come on, kid, let's bounce back right here after a 3-0 count. Want to see Adam just bounce back, get strike 1, and try to get Rosario out on the 5th pitch of this at-bat. 71 pitches so far for Adam. Now try to repeat and try to get a fly ball out of Rosario.
That's strike 2. Missed up. And so Greg Garcia, who came in the double switch, is the hitter now for the Cardinals.
Let's not forget also lefties hitting a lot better than righties this season against Adam by a considerable margin. This will be the first lefty he faces all game.
Busted bat and a little flare into left. It falls for a hit. Digging for third is Rosario. He'll end up there, and it's a double for Garcia. And just like that, St. Louis with 2 outs and 2 in scoring position.
Good pitch by Adam, down and away, breaking Garcia's bat. Ends up getting that flare for a double. As a hitter, you're loving it as you're rounding the bases. Conley, it has to be a little frustrating. This is a good mound visit right here by Juan Nieves. Try to settle Adam down and see what game plan they are going to have against Tommy Pham. But so far on the day, it's 0 for 2 with a fly ball to right field and a strikeout.
And this now is the 3rd time through for St. Louis. Pham is 0 for 2.
He starts him off with a breaking pitch for a strike. It really would put and send a message to Tommy Pham of where do I go from here. Good pitch though, fastball down in the zone.
Yeah, maybe a break there for Conley. Time at the plate called. Looked like Mathis actually called time. Conley wanting to make sure he doesn't balk there. That's a smart move. It was an awkward timeout, and Conley wanted to make sure he was okay to get on the rubber cleanly. Ball and a strike.
That's been the effective pitch for Adam. Fastball that moves the right-handed hitter's feet, opening up the rest for the off-speed pitches or the fastball up and away.
No, Mathis held it, but it was in.
Close to the pitch that he struck him out looking in his second at-bat.
Off speed to even the count at 2-2. And Pham is a dangerous and hot hitter. 2 homers in this series, 5 hits in this series. You see the last 10 days, he and that guy, Martin Prado, have been tearing it up. Oh, fastball up. It gets away from Mathis, and a run will score. And you don't see that very often.
No, that's a scary thought for Tommy Pham. Looking probably down and away. Same thing for Mathis. Pitch set up inside. Ball just takes off on him. Jeff Mathis, known for his leather behind the plate, for his great defense. Definitely upset at that one.
Three-two. Got him. Breaking ball. And the Cardinals get a run. McConley still has the lead. It's 3-2. And the all-new RAV4 active complete game droughts. The Marlins have the longest one in baseball. If you go to the bottom line there, way down there, since 1913, the Brewers had the longest, which ended about 4 years ago, 407 games. So the Marlins are the second longest ever since 1913. That's as far as our baseball historians were able to go.
He had a very good opportunity this season against the Brewers to get that complete game.
Well, it's Mathis, Echeverria, and then Conley against Bowman. And as Eduardo pointed out, Matt Bowman, a Lincecum-like delivery and body type, maybe not stretching out to the extreme of Lincecum. To second. And there's one out here in the sixth. Nobody sees sports quite like Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock. The brains to know, the guts to say. Colin and Jason team up for FS1's new daily sports talk show, Speak for Yourself, weeknights at 6 Eastern. Echeverria. Etch into center field. That's a base hit, and that sets up nicely for Conley as he'll attempt to bunt Echeverria into scoring position. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it feels like and it seems like the Marlins pitchers had a better year last year as bunters.
Well, Adam has struggled with it earlier on, but he's gotten a lot better. You see him bending those knees right there. Early on in the season, wasn't bending as much, working hard at it, understands that this is a part of the game that would really help him out by adding runs on the board.
And Conley trying to bunt at that pitch. It's 0-2. Does he square too soon?
It's not that he squares too soon, and that's all right. Everybody knows he's going to bunt, but it's where his feet are in the box. I'd rather have him closer towards the pitcher to open up and give him more room. Right now, his back foot is in the back part of the batter's box. If he moves up towards Bowman, it opens up the area a little bit more and it gets that bat head out in fair territory. Right now, that bat head's in foul territory.
And he fouls it off. And that's a strikeout.
See how deep he is in the box? His front foot should be actually touching the front of the box, keeping that bat head in fair territory. And maybe that ball would have been fair, except that spin was taking it foul. Either which way, you give yourself more room for error when you do that.
Ichiro now is 1 for 2. He singled in the first, bounced out in the third, walked in the fifth, and that ground out in the third looked like a base hit. He was called safe at first, but upon review on a bang-bang play, the throw from Diaz beat him by a whisker. And so instead of 7 shy, he is 8 shy of 3,000.
Keep an eye on Rosario after the pitch and see if he drops a knee. If he does, good time then for a delay steal from Hetchy at first. See if he drops a knee right there. There, good time right now. You see that from the bench. Gives an opportunity to give Adaney the delay steal because the catcher is more focused on the hitter than on the base runner.
One and two. Echeverria bluffing at first. And Ichiro steps away.
Cardinals know something might be on right now. Ichiro with 2 strikes. Etchie makes an out. You have the lead. You're up by 1. Not a bad time to have Ichiro leading off.
Not running. He flips it down the left field line. Fair. It's a base hit. Echeverria streaming towards third. Ichiro to second, and he's in there with a double.
Great base running. Great read. He was his own coach. Get that bobblehead out again. Dial it up one more. We're 8 away, folks. 7 away. Ichiro right here. Look where this pitch is, cutting in, slicing it with a Ginzu knife to left field. And then Randall Grichuk hesitating. Don't know why. He should know that this throw should go into second base. As soon as that hesitation was made, watch Ichiro right here. Stalls, reads it, shuffles, let's go. Beautifully done.
2,993, 7 shy of 3,000. And here's Prado for a big at bat. Second and third, 2 outs. Remember, it's a 1-run game now, 3-2, Miami on top. Prado pops it up. Jerko and Holiday and Piscotty, and it's Piscotty who makes the catch. Marlins lead 2. Ichiro 7 from 3,000. Line drive, and he's in there. Ichiro into center field. Ichiro base hit. Yeah. 3-2 ball game. Marlins on top. 2 hits for Ichiro. Now Ledmus Diaz. 2 things happened when Adam Conley walked Alberto Rosario with 2 outs. It started the Cardinals inning in motion. They did get the run on a wild pitch, but it also turned the lineup over, and rather than starting the inning with Garcia, now Conley starts the 6th with Diaz, Piscotty, and Holiday. 2, 3, 4. Changeup misses low. A 1-run lead, 9 strikeouts. It's the 4th time he's done it in his career. Outside corner. Pitch count still very manageable. But as Don Mattingly has said, for Conley, there have been times where when he's run out of gas, it's happened all of a sudden. And so you would think Mattingly will have a keen eye on his lefty here in the bottom of the 6th. Miami's bullpen is in action. Kyle Barraclough is up. 3-2 to Diaz. Check swing. Don Mattingly has some great memories of St. Louis. He wasn't a Cardinals football fan or a Blues fan or anything like that. But this is the ballpark, or near the ballpark, where he went to his very first major league game growing up in Indiana. Of course, the other Busch Stadium was just beyond the left field wall. Mattingly said when he was 8 or 9, he wasn't quite sure. Summer camp, they loaded up the bus and took the drive in from Indiana. He doesn't remember a lot of details about the game. He just knew that it was hot and that he had a great time running all over the stadium. And that was his first major league game. And he thinks that it's the only major league game he saw before he actually played in a major league game. Conley now in discussion with his pitching coach, Juan Nieves.
Well, the Midwest is all about two fan bases, and it's about the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs. They dominate most of the fan bases here. Nothing to take away from the White Sox or the Royals. But here in this area, it's a lot of red, and here in the Chicago area, a lot of blue.
A lot of that had to do with KMOX, that blowtorch of an AM radio station that went all over the Midwest. First pitch swinging, Piscotty out towards Stanton. Giancarlo has the glasses on his cap. And he finds the ball, makes a catch. That's a big out to get for Conley. Here comes Matt Holliday, and a reminder that the Marlins have that digital flex pass, which features 20 digital tickets for just $199. And that's just $10 a game, and you pick the games you want to attend. And of course, if you're following Ichiro's chase, that's a nice flexible way to have tickets and be able to use them as he goes. Marlins.com, the place to go for tickets. Holliday steps out. Ichiro's playing time lately has been cut short with the health of Ozuna and Yelich, and Stanton's hot streak getting back to what you expect from Giancarlo. But today, day game after night game, a strike to Holliday and a chance to give Ozuna a day off after his all-star activities.
This at-bat could take a little bit longer for Adam Conley. You see him taking his time. One of the biggest reasons, he has to be able to establish the inside part of the plate against Holliday. 2 pitches already. He's leaving the ball out over the plate. Yes, he's 0-2, but those are 2 mistake locations. First one Holliday took, that one he just missed. Very strong, middle away. Teams have to pound him in hard in order to keep those hands tight inside.
Diaz the runner at first. We'll see where Mathis sets up. He hit his spot, slow roller, Echeverria, safe, and the runner's going to third. Kelly falls over, and Diaz is going to score. A disaster of a play for the Marlins. And it's 3-3. Echeverria didn't get much on the throw, and that may have fooled Kelly at first.
The St. Louis Cardinals were the team coming in that their defense was the problem. Watch right here. Etche playing deep, comes in full throttle, makes a throw off balance, off his left foot, not the right foot. Then the ball takes an in-between hop, and Don Kelly decides to stretch for it instead of waiting for the long hop. Watch again right here. Watch off the foot that Etche throws. Don has to get back, lay back on an in-between hop, allowing Diaz to score. And now the go-ahead run at second base and Matt Holliday.
Don Mattingly asked for the baseball, and he's going to the bullpen. Bear Claw is ready, but the Cardinals have tied it 3-3. Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. Still in a little bit of shock. He made a great pitch with 2 strikes to Matt Holliday. Don Kelly had trouble at first base. Echeverria, not sure he had a grip on the ball. Kind of a shot put throw to first, and Aledmys Diaz didn't stop. He was full tilt, and he scores.
Yeah, the perfect pitch. Up and in, jamming Holliday, and Etche knew he had to rush, had no play at first base. Then this is the disastrous part of it. Again, 3 walks for Conley. 2 of the 3 end up scoring on the day.
And here's Bear Claw now. Michael McHenry is the hitter. Remember, this is the pitcher's spot in the order. McHenry, the former Pirate, takes a fastball for a strike. Pitch Penny bringing you Michael McHenry, who when he was a Pirate had the great nickname of the Fort, as in Fort McHenry.
29 career home runs for Michael. 103 career RBIs. You see right there, 239 average.
Bear Claw misses outside with a fastball. So it's 3-3. And of course, Bear Claw, well known by the Cardinals. He was the Double-A closer for St. Louis. When the Cardinals inquired about Steve Cishek, the Marlins got Bear Claw in exchange for Cishek. And he misses in. It's 3-1. Excuse me, 2-1. Holliday the runner at second. 98 with the fastball, and that's a strike. No problem getting loose on a day like this. There's the slider and a strikeout. So down goes McHenry, and now you got Grichuk.
That's not fair. You're coming from the bench thinking you're facing the left-handed pitcher, Adam Conley. And what do you get? That man right there throwing 98 and then a wiping slider to get you out.
Holiday still at second. Grichuk has homered in the series. Has 3 hits, but not today's. 0 for 2. Struck out twice against Conley. Well, you're right about the walks. Conley had just 3 of them, but 2 of them really hurt. The leadoff walk to Diaz here in the 6th, and the 2-out walk in the 5th to the catcher and the 8-hitter Rosario. They would both score. Down the right field line and foul.
How about the managerial moves so far this inning? You bring in Barraclough, Mattingly walking towards the plate, towards the mound, sees that Mike Matheny has yet to put in McHenry in the game, stops before has a presence of mind, and then Marvin Hudson finally calls in McHenry, tells them that they are in the game, then he goes, makes that move, and Matheny keeps McHenry in the game even though he has 2 lefties on the bench. Still early, 3-3 game. Not wanting to blow away and waste an extra player in Colton Wong or Adams. Cardinals only with 5 players starting the game on the bench, compared to the Marlins, which start with 6 offensive players on the bench.
Swing and a miss. And Barraclough comes in and strikes out McHenry and Grichuk. Cardinals have tied it. Christian Yelich leads it off in a 3-3 game. It's a Jose day. He starts. Craig Minervini and Jeff Nelson South Florida Honda dealers will bring you Marlins Live tomorrow. A Nola Fernandez matchup. Marlins will see 4 right-handers in that series in Philly. There's your win leaders. Jose at 11, Johnny Cueto, Steven Strasburg with 13. Arrieta sits at 12, Kershaw and Jose at 11. And a look into Busch Stadium. And big Jonathan Broxton makes appearance number 40. Christian Yelich, Giancarlo Stanton, Derek Dietrich. Yelich, big hit last time up, 2-run single. Folks around here aren't real pleased with the Rams, are they?
What Rams?
That exactly. They've gone back to Los Angeles. Yelich, a Southern California native, has yet to buy a season ticket to the Rams, but he has a really interesting tie. His grandfather was a Ram and designed the Rams logo, the helmet logo. He was the first to put a logo on a helmet, and because he busted his nose so many times, he was the first to use a face mask. He was credited with helping invent the face mask. So Yelich has Rams ties.
Did he patent that? Because let me tell you something. Cha-ching. And hopefully for his sake, a lot of St. Louis Cardinal fans do not know that, or St. Louis native fans.
Yelich into center field. Wow, they're already angry with him. He's got a couple hits and a couple RBIs. So the single by Yelich. Now Giancarlo Stanton comes in. He has struck out twice and doubled. Stanton going with the half face mask. I'm sure he has no idea that Yelich's grandfather,
none whatsoever,
had a hand in developing that for football.
No 6 degrees of separation, yes.
Dietrich on deck. Yelich, good lead at first. Broxton, not quick to the plate is Broxton.
No, he's not, and this is all about the times right now. But with Giancarlo on the at the plate right now, one thing that he has to do, hunt the fastball. That's what they've been getting him out with.
Foul back to the screen. Stanton drives it right center field. That's in the gap. It's going to the wall. And Yelich is off to the races. Yelich to third. On his way home. Relay throw to the plate. And he's in there. Stanton to third. He's in there. And the Marlins have the lead at 4-3. Second double of the ball game for Giancarlo. And Yelich showing off that speed.
That's why you hunt the fastball, because you can make the adjustment to any breaking pitch that's thrown. He's driving this ball. Watch the location, down and away, goes with it to right center field. And what I love to see about the Marlins in this 3-game series is their base running. Look at Giancarlo seeing the read to the plate, aggressive coaching at third base by Lenny Harris. Giancarlo not stopping, not assuming two, continuing to go to third base on the relay throw. That's how you win ball games. Read, anticipate, go after it. Don't be scared to make that out.
You also win ball games by adding on when you have opportunities, and the Marlins have a great one here. Stan has driven in 12 here in July. Infield in, Dietrich up, nobody out. Broxton behind in the count, 1-0. Little chopper, and that's not going to get the job done. Holiday ventured away from the bag, and Dietrich is out. And so the Cardinals have one out.
Infield in.
Where's Holiday going?
He's going after it. It's just getting used to playing first base. Not a lot of experience Fortunately for the Cardinals, he was able to make the adjustment. Again, infield in right here. This is a situation where sometimes they tell you, try to get the ball in the air. No, try to hit a hard line drive. That way, if you do miss it, you do get that ball in the air deep into the outfield.
Kelly bunts, pops it up, foul, and that had the looks of a safety squeeze. The count's 0-1. You don't often get a chance at redemption right after a mistake, but I know for Don Kelly, look at the bunt.
Again, if that bat head is behind, very difficult to get it in fair territory. This, obviously, you're not showing bunt early. Good opportunity right here for Don to drive one in.
Broxton ready. That's a foul ball.
Ooh, that was close.
And that was close. And he's behind the count 0-2. Kelly in a similar spot. His last at bat struck out in the 5th.
Watch how Rosario gets out real quick. Try to convince Marvin Hudson that ball was fair. Good job. Veteran catcher, over 700 games in the minor leagues.
Stanton still 90 feet away. Broxton out in front of Kelly, 0-2. Kelly drives it center field. Not too deep. Pham comes in. Stanton tags. Pham with the catch. Here's the throw, and he is in there.
Beautiful slide.
With the left hand, he got the plate. And the Marlins take a 2-run lead. Great base running by Stanton. Pham with a strong throw. And here's another look.
Great job. Let's start by Don Kelly. Pitch down in the zone. Broxton executing. Pham doing a nice job attacking the baseball. But the slide of Giancarlo Stanton was the key. Good jump, did not go straight into the plate. You see him slide away from it, using his left hand to place the tag on the bat, on the plate. Nicely done. Great job also by Mathis, letting Giancarlo know where to go on that.
Boy, what a sequence for Stanton. First the RBI double, then the instincts to take third while the ball was in the glove of the relay man. And now the slide right on the corner of the plate. Mathis swings and misses. 5-3 Miami here in the 7th.
Two nights ago, the Cardinals came back to take the lead on 2 solo shots. The Marlins responded by tying the game and then taking the lead in the 9th inning. Again, they're doing the same.
Mathis in the air to right center. Pham and Piscotty. It's Piscotty who makes the catch, but Miami gets 2. 7th inning stretch in St. Louis.
2006, the Cardinals used to play at Busch Memorial Stadium. Now, because the new ballpark is located right next to where the old ballpark was located, they were able to keep parts of Busch Memorial Stadium intact. That includes the infield. In fact, right where I'm standing is where the old pitcher's mound was located. This is a great place to come to see old parts of Busch Memorial Stadium. This is also a great place for kids to come during the game and burn off a little bit of energy.
Yeah, Bob Gibson did some real damage there on the mounds at the second incarnation of Busch Stadium. This is the third. Giancarlo Stanton is enjoying his series here. Terrific day today. A couple doubles. The RBI double in the top of this inning. Great base running. And, of course, 2 highlight film catches yesterday. Kyle Bearclaw stays in there. Yelich and Stanton with big days. Ichiro has 2 hits. Good day for the outfield. Jed Jerko, the hitter. And he shoots one that Dietrich slides, steadies, and makes the play on. GMC, big matchup. I mean, big matchup. Since divisional play started in 1969. Best record against other divisions. Eduardo, you touched on this on Marlins Live.
I did, and you look at the 2015 Pirates and how they were able to control other divisions, talking about interleague, talking about both the East and the West. But the Marlins 2016, one of their secrets to success has to be to beat the bottom feeders within the division, because they've done a nice job outside of that division with that record.
Certainly the Marlins took a step forward in doing that with a sweep of the Reds. And that was right before the All-Star break. And that one gets away with Alberto Rosario at the plate. Rosario and then third baseman Greg Garcia. Mattingly electing to bring Bearclaw back out for the 7th. He struck out 2 in the 6th. And man, he's blowing heat. Probably a little extra juice. This is his original organization, the Cardinals. So fun for him to come in here, strike out 2, and get out of trouble in the 6th. Speaking of strikeouts, Eduardo Perez. You saw the mound that Jessica Blaylock was standing on. It was on this date, 1974, that Bob Gibson became the second pitcher to record 3,000 strikeouts.
He was filthy. So many stories my father told me about him, as you see another filthy slider from Bearclaw. And talk about the slider that Bob Gibson possessed and the attitude. He scared men at the plate, all with intimidation, and then with his filthy fastball up and in and the sliders down and away. Think about it. Back in the day, there were no ear flaps to protect hitters. It was, you're going out there mano a mano just with a wooden bat, go do it. That's tough.
So I think if Yelich's grandfather was a baseball player, he would have invented ear flaps.
I have to ask Christian to be patent at that, because that would have been, that's a cha-ching moment.
'98. Ball's just exploding out of Bearclaw's hand right now. And he's 0-2 on Garcia. 98 at the top end. Breaking ball, Kelly with Bearclaw waiting, and it's a 1-2-3-7. That would be a shutdown inning from Kyle Bearclaw in a 5-3 Miami lead. All right, Craig, thanks for that. Yeah, you're right. The Marlins with an opportunity to, if the Nats were to falter in extra innings, and obviously the Fish trying to keep pace with the Mets. This is Kevin Segrist. Danny Echeverria up. And the count's 1-0. Segrist, who just returned off the disabled list, was out with mono. A welcome addition for a bullpen that's really struggled. And maybe that's why we've seen Mike Matheny stick with starters a little longer than you might expect. Cardinals bullpen, especially at home, has not had a good July. Since the 3rd of July at home, their ERA is over 5.5. Echeverria swings and misses, counts 1-2. Segrist in for Broxton, who replaced Bowman. This was a Michael Wacha start, and he went just 4 innings. And Echeverria strikes out. Cole Gillespie coming to the plate for Miami. And you got Ichiro on deck. Gillespie getting in at bat against Segrist. Segrist doesn't mess around, though that pitch missed someplace. And it counts a ball and a strike.
I don't know what place that pitch missed. It looked inside, middle in right there. Same exact pitch. Segrist early on always goes inside against right-handed hitters.
Into right field, Gillespie smacks a single. And he's aboard. And here comes Ichiro for his 5th plate appearance of the day. And for Ichiro, 2 for 3, doubled his last time up. 7 shy of 3,000. And making his major league debut at first base, Jeffrey Perez.
Before we even get into Ichiro right here, Jeffrey Perez, Cole Gillespie's at bat phenomenal for a guy that does not start much. To be able to drive the ball that way to right field, that's a plus. You're a coach on the bench. You're Don Mattingly, the manager. You have to be so proud of what Gillespie just did right there.
Perez has great speed, and he's running on the first pitch. It's a pickoff, and he slides in safely. And that's going to be a stolen base. Running on first motion.
Why not? That's what you're there to do. I told you Perez can fly. Watch what he does. That's smart base running. He comes off the base ready to go to third base, but he gets picked off. He runs on the inside part of the throwing lane and establishes that lane early. It makes it more difficult for Matt Holliday to make a throw to second base.
Well, that's why the Marlins brought him up, that blazing speed, and it pays off here. Ichiro still waiting on the first pitch from Segrist.
I told you Perez's can all run.
Yeah,
all run.
That's the other side of the family, though, right?
No, we just get slower as time goes by. We skip a few generations, too.
Well, now Ichiro a chance to drive in a run. And he takes out a single in the first, a line drive up the middle, walked in the 5th. And then a slicing liner down the left field line that just got in for a double in the 6th. Bigger lead by Perez.
And even though it's a left on left right here, where it's easy for Rosario to make a throw to third base, 2-0 count on Ichiro. Segras is very slow to the plate. He doesn't mix his looks up at second base. Don Mattingly wouldn't be surprised if he gives Perez the green light.
Ichiro takes out, and it's 3-0. This is another part of Ichiro's game this year that's very different from last year. Much more selective than last year. His on-base percentage right around .417 right now. Been on base 3 times in this one. And a strike. His batting average with runners in scoring position this year also .417. Strike. And Segras back in the at bat. That one right down the middle. Perez away from second. Ichiro, a ground ball in the hole at short. That'll be a hit. Perez a big turn, and he is safe as he dives back in. A little reckless on the bases was Perez. Ichiro's 3rd hit. He is now 6 shy of 3,000. Unbelievable.
Get those bobbleheads. Get those bobbleheads, baby. We're 6 shy away. Ichiro continues his onslaught. Again, protecting the plate. Patented Ichiro. Diaz hesitating. Not getting that ball quickly to Greg Garcia. Not anticipating that Perez would take the turn. See him double pump right there. Garcia's asking for the baseball. But watch Ichiro down the line. Gets another base hit.
So 3 hits in this game, 6 shy of 3,000, and another opportunity for Miami to add on.
This is where Perez has to take a really big lead. If Segras throws the first, it's an open door to go straight home on a steal of home.
That hit him. Prado hit by the pitch. And this is going to be a bases loaded at bat now for Yelich. So they're loaded. Yelich is 2 for 4. Derek Lilliquist, himself a lefty, is out to talk to the lefty Segras.
And historically, Segras has done better against right-handed hitters than left-handed hitters. We'll see how Derek Lilliquist right now decides to take this with a young Rosario behind the plate. Not a lot of experience like Molina. Kevin Segras having that conversation right now.
.391 with the bags loaded. Still looking for his first big league grand slam. There's nobody throwing in the Cardinals bullpen. So that visit wasn't about stalling. It was all about strategy and trying to settle down Segras. 2 hits for Yelich. Stanton's on deck. Bags loaded. 5-3 Miami in the 8th. Yelich lines it left field. Grichuk over there, makes the catch. Perez tags, and flying home he scores. Yelich delivers his 3rd RBI. Perez scores his first big league run.
That kid's fast.
He is very fast because Grichuk was moving in and made a strong throw to the plate.
It's a great job by Grichuk getting the baseball in a hurry. And Perez was already by it. Great reaction by him, going right back to the bag. A lot of runners to third base. Inexperienced runners take 2 steps towards the plate, then they're too late getting back and don't score.
Well, at second look, maybe not that strong a throw to the plate. He bounced it a couple times. Stanton now, first and second. Ichiro's running, double steal, pitches down, and the Marlins get 2 bags. With Ichiro getting his 8th and Prado getting his 1st.
I'm really surprised they took off on that one. You got to watch out right now what happened here to Rosario at behind the plate. He held on to that throw, and I think he hurt his shoulder by doing so.
He's in a lot of pain. Of course, Matheny, a big league catcher. Here's a look.
He didn't throw it. He held on to the weight of to that baseball, to the weight. You see right there, just holding on to his side more than his shoulder.
He's going to stay in the ball game. The Marlins aggressive here.
This is interesting to note because now you don't have. You have Derek Dietrich on deck, but Rojas is on deck now, so they're going to walk Giancarlo Stanton to face the Rojas. I was a little surprised that Ichiro decided to steal, taking the bat away from Giancarlo.
So Stanton, who has 2 doubles, on his way to first. Rojas had a big hit in the first game of the series when the Marlins rallied a couple times late, and Rojas with a 9th inning RBI single was the game winner in a 7-6 win on Friday night.
Well, we know one thing. This man can hit some lefties.
Two outs. Rojas nearly comes out of his shoes.
Love it. He took some off 86 miles per hour, but look at the splits right there versus righties 213. Big hit yesterday versus a right-handed hitter, a right-handed pitcher. But versus lefties 361 with the 3 RBIs. Really enjoy how Miguel comes right out of the bench, hunting fastball, taking a good swing.
Ball and a strike. Outfield towards right center for Rojas. And Seagrass misses in. It's 2-1.
Good time for Seagrass to throw that 86 mile per hour pitch he threw Rojas the first time at first pitch. Right now Miguel 4 for 8 with a double pinch hitting this season is looking dead red for Peter.
Rojas does not walk much, just 6 times this year. But Seagrass misses, and it's 3-1. He went with the changeup. The ball strike ratio certainly not what Mike Matheny was hoping for, and the Cardinals bullpen is active now. Tyler Lyons. 3-1. Rojas hits a high fly ball. Grichuk in left is there, and he makes the catch. But the Marlins add on and lead at 6-3. Big day for Ichiro. A line drive, and he's in there.
because on the sidewalk there going to be a little bit of an educational experience. That's because on the sidewalk there are markers indicating key moments that have taken place throughout the history of the franchise. Those are both individual accomplishments and team accomplishments. And speaking of team accomplishments, we saw that the 2006 team was in town this weekend to celebrate winning that World Series, and we found the marker that honors them. Now guys, I wonder if Preston Wilson had a chance to make it out here and take a picture next to this great moment in Cardinals history.
Well, I will ask him when we get on the plane and head to Philly. Preston will be joining us in Philadelphia for the 4-game series. 6-3 Miami on top. Miguel Rojas is going to stay in the ball game. He pinch hit for Derek Dietrich. And Fernando Rodney.
Well, this is just like the Marlins front office, and Don Mattingly has played it out. You get Rodney, then Ramos. You're up by 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning against the Cardinals.
Rodney delivers a strike. Tommy Pham leads it off for St. Louis, top of the order. So R&R, if it's Rodney and Ramos.
A little R&R.
We'll get the top of the order to start here in the 8th. Pham, Diaz, and Piscotty. 82 miles an hour on the changeup. Oh, 2. Rodney, an all-star season with the Padres. And of course now with the Marlins. Makes his off-season home in South Florida. So getting to pitch for Miami, something that he likes a lot. Two to Pham. Outside corner. That's a changeup. Righty on righty action.
That's unfair, and that would be the 3rd strikeout for Tommy Pham on the night. Yesterday and the last 2 days, fantastic. Today, that was a fantastic pitch by Fernando Rodney. Changeup down and away.
Now Diaz, who was a teammate of Rodney's on that all-star team in San Diego. Diaz struck out in his only appearance. You got Piscotty on deck for the Cardinals. A couple walks from Diaz, and he's popped out. His numbers, I mean, you look at him, everyone focuses on batting average, and that's all well and good, but his on-base percentage is up around 385, and he's slugging well over 500. Now, for perspective, in the National League, the average batting average is 253. The average on base is 321, and the average slugging percentage is 412.
It's pretty good.
So just to illustrate what this young Cuban has done. He got a changeup, and he yanks it foul. Got him. Rodney has come in and caught 2 Cardinals looking. That one just off the edge, but a strikeout for Rodney. MLB.TV Premium, #1 live streaming sports service. Every out-of-market game is on, and it's in HD. MLB.TV Premium includes a free subscription to At Bat Premium, #1 app for live baseball. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Cardinal dugout right now, not real pleased. I would expect Marvin Hudson is not in the best of moods, having to umpire in what did we decide, a heat index of the about 105, 106?
What was climbing? It started at 100, went to 103. Right now has to be at the peak, at its peak. Especially when you're losing 6-3, Mike Matheny and the crew. I would say it feels hotter than that.
Piscotty takes out. It's a ball and a strike. One and two. Rodney with the hat tilted. When you think about it, the tilted hat is right in line with the plate, the way he lines up. I mean, if you take the logo on the cap,
right,
it's looking right to home plate, because look at the way see? Hey, the hat's straight now. To left, Yelich. Got it. Fernando Rodney, a 1-2-3-8. And Miami in St. Louis is up 6-3. Jose Fernandez tomorrow. The Marlins and the Phillies. It's a 4-gamer in Philly. And we got it for you. 6:30 Marlins Live. Aaron Nola. Bright young starter for the Phillies. Fernandez first post All-Star game start. Tuesday night, of course, the Marlins have a decision to make. They don't have a #5 starter on their roster right now. Been carrying an extra player. That paid off today with the stolen base and the speed by Perez, who scored on the sacrifice fly. Kelly bounces it. And Seth Maness gets over and gets to the bag.
And you talk about guys that make a living off ground balls and a two-seamer. Seth Maness is one that Mike Matheny depends on, especially with runners on base when he needs that big double play. He's had some huge double plays throughout his career here as a Cardinal.
He's kind of the Cardinals version of Burke Badenhop.
Great call. The hopper.
Though I don't know that he has the hopper's instant recall of every minor league mascot, city, and affiliation. Mathis got it off the end of the bat. He lifts it into right. Piscotty is there, and he makes the catch. If you're just happening by, you see David Phelps and AJ Ramos. It'll be Ramos if the lead stays at 3. If the Marlins were to put 2 across here, you'd probably see Phelps. But a good ball game, the deciding game of this 3-game set between two teams very close in numbers as far as that wild card chase. And Echeverria bounces to Jerko. Bottom 9 in St. Louis. AJ Ramos takes the hill with a 6-3 lead. Marlins baseball and Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. And by your South Florida Honda dealer. In St. Louis, 6-3, Miami on top. Cardinals have 3 runs on 3 hits. And AJ Ramos will try to put the finishing touches on a win. A series win and a nice statement coming out of the All-Star break. But he's got the teeth of the order for the Cardinals, including Matt Holliday leading it off. Our AT&T high-speed replay, and this was the Holliday homer off of Adam Conley. And Conley really deserved a better fate in this one. In 5 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Holliday has 2 hits. You've got a pinch hitter coming up. Looks like Colton Wong on deck. And then Randall Grichuk against Ramos. Breaking ball misses away. AJ saved Friday night's game. That is not the spirit of St. Louis, but a reasonable facsimile. Two and 0. Holliday now with 16 homers. Drives that ball to left, and it's going to get into the corner. Extra bases. And so Ramos comes in, throws 2 balls, and then a double to Holiday. And a 3-hit day for the Cardinals slugger.
Gets a cookie right there, 90-mile-per-hour fastball down in the zone. Every time Matt Holliday gets his hands extended, it's an MVP-type swing. That's why you see a lot of teams pound them hard in. Cardinals need base runners. AJ needs 3 outs for the save.
Wong's first at bat. Then you got Grichuk and Jerko. And Ramos with a breaking ball for a strike to Wong. Of course, the Marlins and the Cardinals are going to see each other in about a week and a half when the Cardinals arrive in Miami. And that's a 4-game series. It starts on the 28th. On a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Changeup and a strike. It's 1-2. Wong, Kelly has it. A liner to first. And that's the first out of the 9th inning. Here comes Grichuk. Inside the Marlins Road to the Show debuts after Marlins Live postgame. Marlins Live postgame, not its debut, but certainly a fine show is planned with Craig Minervini and Jeff Nelson. 3 more hits for Ichiro. He's down to 6 away. Three strikeouts for Grichuk, and remember his last at bat, he staggered at the plate. And it almost looked like he was coming out of the game. Stayed in, struck out, and then remained in the game. It looked like he either had a dizzy spell. The home plate umpire, Marvin Hudson, actually came over to steady him just outside the batter's box. Ball and a strike. Outfield very deep. Ramos is such an unconventional and yet effective closer. Unconventional in the repertoire, the 4 different pitches that he'll use, and also in the way that he gets saves. He's not a 1-2-3 inning guy, right? I mean,
not at all.
Rarely does he come in and finish off a save, but he has the guts and the fortitude to pitch with guys on base. And that doesn't seem to bother him. In fact, it almost seems like he's better. Nasty breaking ball for the strikeout and out number 2.
Well, Randall Grichuk, you had mentioned after that dizzy spell hasn't been the same. 4 strikeouts on the day for Grichuk. Good breaking ball over the top right there, just breaking down and out of the zone. It's all on Judd Jerko now.
Jerko, the West Virginian, is 0 for 3. Oh and 1.
up by 3. This is a big at-bat for Jerko, and this is the reason why you have Matt Adams on deck. Look at those numbers pinch hitting. Cardinals best in power off the bench this season. He has 2 home runs, 400 average off El Banco.
Slowly hit Echeverria, ball game, and Miami wins it and wins the series here in St. Louis. 6-3. Ichiro with 3 more hits, a couple doubles by Giancarlo. Big day from Yelich. Great to be a Marlin outfielder today here in St. Louis. Adam Conley and the rest of the bullpen outstanding. Kyle Bearclaw, Fernando Rodney, and A.J. Ramos. Miami wins it, and the Fish at 49-42, back to 7 over, and back to Marlins Live after this.